Hey, welcome back to this session. I thought I'd add another video to this and we're going to look at a bit of security on our website. Currently at the moment we're at index.php and we can go through and we can play the game. But if we would like to, anyone could actually come at the top here and type in winner.php, and when they press enter, they've actually won the game. So they could actually jump through our website if they wanted to. Now, one of the key things we're going to use is what's actually called the header redirect. Now, we've used it before to actually say, well, if it's been posted, then we move to another page. But we can actually set a session variable that will ensure that if they're not playing the game, that they get sent back to the index.html. So what I'm going to do is create a session variable. So this could be a session variable. And this session variable we will call active game. So this is going to be an active game variable. So if they are playing, we're going to set that to a 1. And if they're not playing, so it's an else clause. So in this case here, if the page hasn't been posted, under our else clause, we can actually set that to 0. So let's just run that on our page and see how we're going. As you can tell, there's no errors. So how can we use that little flag to help us with our game? Well, now that we've got active game, so I'm just going to copy that now. If they decide to say go to the winner page here, we could actually say, well, if the server is the post method, which is fine, so it's been resubmitted, then do this. And then we can put in an else clause in there, or we can actually just use an if statement above it. And we could actually say, well, if bracket the server game, if that's not equal to 1, then we can do something. And what do we want to do? Well, let's just send them back to index.html. So if the game session isn't correct, so in other words it's a 1, it's a 0, or anything else, or not set, then it's going to send them back to the start page. So let's have a look at our game now. So I go in for an easy game. The answer is 0 in this case. So I'll put in a 1 just to be too high. And then I'll put in 0. And it's taken straight through. So it hasn't picked up that game correctly, because what we got, if it's 1, send us there. So what we want to do is actually say if it's not 1. So therefore, if it's not 1 in an active game, then send us back there. So let's try again. So easy. The answer is going to be 4. So we'll just put 4 in to be a winner. Submit. Play again. So we hit the play again. Now, if I go to the very last page, which is our winner page, and try to access that, it automatically kicks us now back to the index page. So this stops people from jumping into levels of your game or opening pages that you don't want them to get access to. It's a very good thing for a log on as well. So you could actually use the 1 for when they're logged on, and if they're not logged on, in other words, a boolean field like 1, then send them back to index.html. So we can do the same code as well on our game page. So before we even start processing the game, anything like that, right at the top of the page, so this is part of our security. If they try to access this page and the game hasn't been started, then they'll get kicked back. So from here, if I go to the game page, they can no longer access my game. So that's just a little bit of security to help make sure that you can control which pages your end users can see and access without directly requesting the pages.